All right, let's get into this week's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We're going to share our thoughts on it. I know Erica's been going back and forth in the Kyle Dorit situation and like not trying to choose sides. Did say at the end of last episode that, you know, she would choose Dorit. If the text messages and if things like that like were getting bad, then yeah, Erica would be on Dorit's side. But we get a little FaceTime with Erica and Kyle, and Erica's like, it's gotten too big. Like, there's too many people in your situation with Dorit. And Kyle's like, yeah, there is. But, like, Kyle made it this way.
Yeah, and talking to about it with everyone. Kyle saying, "What are we in a cult?" That was so weird. And she said it twice throughout the show. And just her, she's so caught, I feel like, just and of course recording, she doesn't know what the public thinks, but like the public's so done with her this season. And I mean they have been for a long time, but I think she's just getting so caught in like overproducing, and it's not good.
Which is just funny because I keep seeing people online being like, the producers really hate her this season. They're really going at her. But then I think, like, well, if Kyle is a producer on the show, what does it look like? What is she? Is she just saying, like we talked about this last week, is she just saying, yeah, make me the villain this season? I didn't act great. Put all of that out there. Don't cut out things like we would normally cut out. Because what if Kyle has just been acting like as bad as she has this season and all the other seasons, but they cut out so much of it and we have no idea?
Yeah, I think Kyle probably got that producer title just to put on the screen. Like, I don't think that she's actually really given much say.
Yeah, I would hope so. I wouldn't hope she's like literally in the room with them. But Kyle's like, yeah, it just needs to be between me and Dorit, and saying that she's just had the worst. This is the worst time she's had on the show. That her marriage, her personal life, her characters being questioned, and everyone can just F off, which is like her new favorite thing. You're on reality TV and you've questioned Denise's life, Camille's life, you've questioned Erica, like you've questioned everybody else, Lisa Vanderpump, but when the tables turn on you, you can't handle it.
Kyle literally made the term open and honest like the most popular Bravo term. And but yet when people want her to be open and honest, she's like, oh, what? She can't believe it.
Yeah. Okay, I loved the scene with Bose and Dorit. I don't care what anyone says. I really think this is a good friendship. Dorit was just with her in New York for Watch What Happens Live to celebrate her birthday. Nothing seems fake about it. It doesn't seem overproduced. It feels genuine. But so they're hanging out, they're getting lunch. Bose brings up the fact that Kyle keeps denying that she didn't know PK and Dorit weren't getting along. And Bose was like, well, I thought you had told her how you guys were doing. And Dorit's like, yeah, well, I talked to her about it last year. And so, like, we get that flashback to them talking. I'm wondering if Kyle didn't realize things were still bad and was like, okay, they had an issue last year. But also, I'm not going to give Kyle that much credit. Dorit's like, well, yeah, like, at that point, she had said, like, she thought that they weren't going to separate. They didn't know, like, what was going to happen. But then now that PK has talked about it, all three of them, Dorit, PK, with his sponsor, and that his sponsor was the one that brought up that it would be a good idea to separate. And Dorit's like, I just don't know if this decision is PK's, if it's the sponsors. Like,
Dude, that was wild. The sponsor spoke about separating. I would have lost my damn mind. And as Bose goes on to say, give me those years back. Like, you're gonna put me through all of these years, all of this shit, and then you're gonna bring some outsider in here to break up with me? Divorce? I mean, what?
yeah, because Dorit was like, I've protected PK for years. Like, I've always put on a good face. Things are good. Yeah, all his like gambling debts.
Bo's saying Bo's got all worked up, and because she's been to, oh no, hers died, right?
Yeah.
But still. Oh, she told us that she had gotten cheated on, and she felt it, and she was like, "Give me those years back," and like, I felt that. I felt that.
You're like, yeah.
Boys will drag you through damn hell and then try and run off like they're the innocent little victim.
No, no, no. You're not fooling us. You're not playing us, little boys. No, no, no. Okay, I LOL'd in this part where Garcelle and Sutton, they're FaceTiming each other and they're like, why is Kyle inviting us to this dinner when we never go to dinner? Which this shows that like Kyle's not really friends with Garcelle and Sutton, but
Yeah.
is being forced to try to make a friendship with them because Dorit's not on her side. Erica spends time with Dorit too and has other things going on. Kyle doesn't have her little sidekicks like usual and is now trying to be friends with these people, but they're like, we're getting together tomorrow. Why does Kyle inviting us to dinner tonight? And they both clock it. They're like, she just wants us to be on her side. We're doing another group hang, and Kyle wants to make sure like we're all good to go.
Yeah, she's got to rally them troops.
Yeah, Erica's invited too, so it's the new group of
Well,
four, the board of directors.
I think Erica's on Kyle's side through all of this. I know we saw that scene with her and Dorit at the spa, and she said what she said, but Erica's definitely leaning more towards Kyle's side. And so I think that was the point of her being there, was to kind of like back her up more. And we did see, Erica kept her mouth shut most. And when Sutton started questioning her, Erica was like, "Girl, why are you questioning her?" Which she should be questioning her, but also Sutton took it way too far.
Just God, Sutton. What an episode Sutton had. I liked her at the dinner up until when they were going to Garcelle beach house and they were all meeting at Kyle's house. We'll get
Yeah.
to that. And then when she did that, like we'll get there. But I think I saw an after show where yeah, Erica was like, I'm on your side. Or she alluded to something on like seeing Kyle's point more than Dorit's, I think, or something like that. So I thought that was interesting. Okay. Pre-hang dinner. That place was super gorgeous.
It was very pretty.
There's so many flowers. Like it just looked absolutely beautiful. But Kyle and Garcelle get there first. And Garcelle, hi, how's it going? How are you doing? And Kyle just unleashes. Like you can tell Kyle's like bored at home because there's no one to talk to.
Kyle's just annoying, and she just, in the end, is getting upset because people are starting to question her being a good person and her character. And like, she just, through all of the years of and all of the accusations, she just hasn't had her character questioned, and she's just really struggling with it. But like, we have proof. You have shown text message proof that every girl's girl will tell you you are in the wrong. Erica, she's not a girl's girl.
Mm-mm.
So, like, I don't care what Erica has to say with it.
Kyle isn't doing herself any favors because every time she talks about the text messages or the text message, her story changes. Like at first it was just memes and jokes, and now it's like, oh well, I sent this, and oh well, I've known him for 8 years, so of course it's going to be more than just memes and jokes.
Yeah, now they're all best friends,
Yep.
but they weren't that close on her Amazon Live, however long ago that was. Like,
And then there was a flashback. We didn't see this clip, but Garcelle and Kyle are hanging out, and Kyle's saying, well, yeah, it's memes and jokes. I mean, we even send like marriage memes back and forth to each other. So you guys don't talk about each other. You don't talk about Dorit, but you're sending marriage memes.
Kyle's, like, energy when she said that was totally off,
Yep.
totally like cover her tracks,
Mhm.
and Garcelle clocked it too. Garcelle was like, okay.
I feel like sometimes the more like you stay silent, like you don't respond with that same energy that the person gives because like the energy's chaotic, they're trying to cover their tracks, right? The more like Garcelle will just kind of like, uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah, all right. She's like, I'm not gonna waste my time trying to defend Dorit's position or any just because like you're so stuck in your ways of you did nothing wrong.
With a person like Kyle, if she's not kind of getting back from the other person she's talking to, like Garcelle giving her just that, I feel like would make Kyle want to say more,
Yep.
you know?
Because it's like you're not joining me in the shit talking. I'm not convincing you enough. I'm right and she's wrong. So I'm gonna keep saying stuff until like you see my point.
Yeah, exactly.
I loved the producers doing the flashbacks of every time Kyle pressured other castmates to say stuff. We talked about this a couple of minutes ago. Pressuring Denise, Erica, Sutton, Lisa
Yeah.
Vanderpump. Um,
We even get a clip of her saying she's not going to like it very much, but she has to be open and honest with us. Like, excuse me, who are you? Who made you the leader of the damn ring? And, like, just sit down.
just stop talking. Just go away. Okay, then Erica and Sutton get there, and as soon as Sutton sits down, she's like, "Why are we here?"
That was funny.
I was like, "Yes, exactly. Why are any of us here?" But Kyle apologizes for how she reacted at the spa day. She still agrees with what she said, but her delivery was bad. And Sutton's like, I just got confused on all the words that you said. What are you specifically apologizing for? Because, of course, Kyle is rambling because now she's in defense mode and is losing her damn mind. So Sutton's like, look, I just want Kyle to understand that she holds herself to a different standard than everyone else. She's not better than us, which I think is what's pissing Sutton off.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we haven't seen Sutton this go at it with Kyle last year because Kyle was going at it with her, but I think Sutton's like, oh, this girl thinks like she's better than me. No, no, no.
And, like, she says later, like, Erica can be your minion, but Garcelle and I are not your minions.
Absolutely. So Sutton keeps pressuring Kyle. Specifically, what are you apologizing for?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I just don't want a blanket apology. And Kyle is stuttering. She's trying to think of what she said, and she says some of it, but then she's also like, I don't have to go through a list of what I said. It's my apology, so I'm going to say it how I want to. And I was like, have you never apologized before?
Yeah.
What is this?
One way, Kyle's like, I said so much. I don't remember or know what exactly I said to tell you I'm exactly sorry for what this I said. But then, Garcelle was like saying we should all be ashamed of ourselves, and yeah, that was pretty bad. And
Yeah, and Kyle just kept saying, like, I'm sorry for all of it. I'm sorry for everything I said. Everything. And then she's like, but like what? I don't know if the pre-hangout dinner went as well as Kyle wanted it to go, but
I don't know.
okay, should we talk about Garcelle's beach house hangout?
Yeah, so everyone meets at Kyle's. Bose comes over, and this is the first time she's seeing Kyle, and there's no apology. So Kyle rallied Garcelle, Sutton, and Erica, who have nothing to do with the fight. The fight is about, first of all, Dorit, and second, you left Bose's house event where she gave you gifts and spent money for you to be there, and you left without saying bye
Yep.
and never called her to give her an apology. Now she's gonna.
Oh, y'all, if you're watching this on video, Julia just did the peace sign fingers and Apple did the balloons floating in the video.
is the peace sign?
Yes, so I'm not recording on my phone, so
I don't think that's it. Now we're like Brittany. Hi.
was it the thumbs up?
I don't know what it is, dude. It just does it occasionally.
I'm
So,
leaving it in, by the way.
no apology to Bose. And she's just, I mean, money can't buy you class.
Literally, what etiquette is that, Miss Kyle Richards? So yeah, all the ladies are getting there, and Dorit's telling them, okay, so my son asked me earlier today if me and daddy were getting a divorce because he saw Dorit's Instagram post. And Dorit was like, marriages have ups and downs, we'll always be friends. And Dorit is getting into her story. She talks a lot, she's long-winded. I'm also long-winded. It happens. But like Sutton cutting her off in the middle of telling this very sad story. Speaking of best friends, Garcelle texts me, and they all just look at her and they're like,
I was Sutton. We need to get on the bus and take a 2-hour trip. Like, you can tell us about Jagger's story on the bus because we have 2 hours. Yes, the timing was not great, but also Dorit's timing wasn't great. We're not going to just here to sit around and shoot the shit here at Kyle's house.
Dorit could
We
have
need
totally
to go.
brought this up at the beach house, 100%. And Sutton could have also said, hey, I am so sorry that happened to you. And like, we should 100% talk about it more. But because of timing, let's get on the bus. But Sutton is like a Southern mom that's like, I'm not going to explain this shit to you. Shut your ass up and let's get on the bus.
Yeah.
So they are all shocked
Yeah.
at Sutton cutting off Dorit in this very emotional moment where she's trying to talk to the ladies and Sutton's just basically, yeah, like, shut the fuck up. She's like, well, we have to go. We have to go. This is such a long way that you went on. We need to go. And she's like looking at Erica and she's making all these faces. And Dorit's kind of like, well, Dorit even tries to pick the conversation back up. She's like, well, before I was rudely interrupted. And Sutton's like, no. We are done hearing your shit. I love Jennifer Tilly. I continue to love her. Her giving Garcelle that $700 Dolce & Gabbana toaster. I love Erica clapping as if like someone just won an award.
She's like, I'm clapping. Why am I clapping?
Garcelle was on Watch What Happens Live last night, and she said she has not used the toaster because it's too fancy. She's like, I'm not putting anything in
it. Yeah, that makes sense. So Garcelle had like a cute little like beach picnic set up for everyone to go to. They changed into pajamas, took golf carts over to the beach. The setup was super cute. There was a bartender. People are making drinks. Yeah, Dorit makes her own drink, squeezes her own lemons or limes into her lemons. Yeah.
Yeah, Belvedere soda, 3 lemons, carcass out.
And then Kyle and Dorit walk over and have a talk. Dorit says, like, do you consider me a good friend? And Kyle says yes. And she says, do you want to salvage our friendship? And Kyle says yes. And I'm just, the whole time through this conversation, I'm just like, Kyle is an awful friend. Why do you want to be friends with her? Just her face and her mannerisms and her attitude through all of this, she just seems so fake. And like, honestly, I'm liking Dorit this season a lot. But I also do question, like I just said, why does she want to be friends with Kyle? Like, I almost feel like it's just for image purposes at this point. Because Kyle's not been a good friend to you. So, like, what are you getting from that friendship? Why do you want to keep it?
I think Dorit's like, it's obviously affecting the whole friend group, and they can't even hang out as a group without getting into it because Dorit's so hurt.
Yeah.
So I think by Dorit being like, did you ever consider us good friends? And Kyle saying yes, and then Kyle saying that she wants to salvage the friendship, I think that was enough for Dorit to be like, cool, let's try, but like, I see you. Like, I know we're never going to get back to that place. I think Dorit's just being the bigger person. Kyle did an after show and she said, like, her and Dorit, they talk sometimes, but they're not, like, they don't hang out with each other.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like it's, like, back to how it used to be. Dorit's like, just know, like, it hurt me when you were like, I won't repeat things that you've said. And Kyle's like getting defensive and she's like, no, that's like not what I meant. You don't understand what I mean. But like literally, what else could there be? Dorit and Kyle talk more and Dorit's like, look, if we start this friendship again and like try, I want it to be even. Same expectations for each other. I want us to feel comfortable telling each other how we feel. And Kyle's like, yeah, I want the same thing.
Lame.
Yeah. So they all go back and they hang out. And of course, they have to play a game on the beach because why not? And there's like a bunch of questions, but one of them was, what length would you go to for $1 million? And they're like, oh, like Indecent Proposal, which I actually, well, it was on TV earlier this morning. And I was like, I have to watch it.
Well, they're also like $1 million ain't shit these days.
And so they're like, what about 20 million? Like, what would you do for that? And Garcelle's like, yeah, I would sleep with a man or whatever, $20 million. And Garcelle's like, I've done it before. I was like, what did she mean by that?
I know, that was interesting. What did she mean by that?
And then Bose was like, but what if you were in love, like with your man or with your person? Would you still sleep with somebody else for $20 million? And because during this, Erica's like, hell yeah, absolutely. I'll sleep with whatever. Give me that money, right?
Yeah.
And Dorit goes, well, Erica's never been in love. Like, feel it with your whole body type of love. I was like, damn, Dorit.
I know. That came nowhere.
But then we get a flashback to Erica being like, I want that love movie, that movie type of love, that affair of like, not even affair, but like, maybe affair, who knows, it's Erica. But I mean, like, that love that you can't get away from. You're just so infatuated and you need to be with them. Bose is like, I love love. Like, I don't know if I would do it for that money. Like, when I'm in love, I'm like super about it. And then they asked Jennifer Tilly and they were like, have you been in love or something like that? And she was like, yeah, well, with my first. And they were like, your first? She was, well, my first husband. She was like, I really do appreciate him, especially when I use valet parking or when I buy my Gucci outfits because he gave me such a good divorce settlement.
That was funny. We love her.
This episode ending was so freaking chaotic.
Yeah.
They go to the beach, they're lighting lanterns, it's hella windy, they can't light the lanterns start flying away.
They look
Kyle's trying to chase after them.
trash bags flying away. Lighting fire, and it's super windy, and California is on fire. Wasn't the best idea, but it's fine. Didn't work out anyway.
It completely went to shit. Kyle's on the sand, like on the beach, cracking up laughing. I'm about to pee my pants. She looks up and there's like a couple dead birds right by them. She's like, dead birds! And they all start running in like different directions.
That was funny.
It's so chaotic.
Yeah.
And then they gave us the mid-season trailer. It looks good.
Yes, it did look good. It looks like we have like a couple of vacations coming up. We saw the part of Kathy Hilton on the runway at Sutton's fashion show, which I think we saw about that when that happened in real life. It had gotten leaked. I see.
I hate it.
Hate this. I thought it's just typical Kathy. It's just so typical Kathy. Like,
and I hate that.
She's probably the only person that could get away with it, you know? And everyone.
And that's what bugs me about it, because I think it's so tacky. Like, okay, you play like you're like this, oh, I don't know what's going on, woe is me, blah. No. But yeah, and then they go to St. Lucia, they do Carnival, Dorit's beating the shit out of a piñata.
Yeah. Yes. We see a clip, like, of Dorit talking about the divorce, and Erica, like, so we see Dorit saying he's trying to do it before the 10-year. And then Erica's like, oh, yeah, because that law in California about property, like who gets to keep the property, you have to divorce before 10 years. But I also wonder if they have a prenup.
Yeah, I don't know. You would think, because
You would think.
I don't know, who knows? But you would think. But I think their 10 years is in September. I think I remember seeing that. And then Mo apologizes to Kyle for hurting her, so we get a little scene there. Bose's daughter is asking Bose if her boyfriend is gonna move in with them, like before they get married. And they're still together, so it seems pretty serious.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this scene made me cringe. Garcelle with Sutton and Sutton's mom. So Garcelle's talking to Sutton's mom and is saying, look, I just feel like she would love to hear, like, I love you from you, like trying to talk to her about, like, show your emotions a little more. And Sutton mom goes, well, that's really none of your business.
Oh, yikes.
Like, ooh, what a southern mother. Like, oh, you want to get in my shit? No, thank you.
Yeah.
And then we see some more fighting with Dorit and Sutton and Erica and Sutton.
Ooh.
Okay, do you want to talk a little bit about the RHONY reunion?
Yeah. So we saw the first part of the Real Housewives of New York reunion. Um, everyone walks in and everyone's in their dressing rooms. Bryn goes to Jessel's room, like, hi, how are you? How is everything? And Jessel's like, and Bryn's like, I think everything's okay. And Jessel's like, you think everything's okay? Have you watched it? And Bryn's like, I'm watching it now. I'm on episode 15. And Jessel's like, okay, well, we'll see. And Bryn is just,
She's like disassociating.
yeah, she doesn't want to deal with it. But also, we then see clips of Bryn watching, and she's like reacting, and she's like, ugh, and like, can't believe how some of the girls were reacting and what they were saying. But then we see her crying in the end. But just Bryn just takes no accountability. And man, she really rubbed me wrong this season.
I know I did start out liking her, and I liked her mid-season, and maybe not even mid, a little before mid, and then it just kind of went downhill.
Yeah, and we saw clips of like the beginning of the season, and I was like, holy crap. I feel like this season was so long, so
Yeah.
much happened, and like seeing clips, I was like, wait, that was this season? Like that party in the beginning, and just, I mean, just so much happened. But I also feel like everyone was talking about they were giving nothing this season, which a lot of it was nothing, but there also was a lot. So I don't know. I think everyone looks freaking fantastic. Jenna in a freaking robe and hair in a towel. Her shoes were stunning. I loved her wearing glasses. And Andy was like, okay, what's up with the glasses? And she's like, it's just for the look. They'll come off. And then he was like, trying to talk to her. And he was like, all right, you have to take the glasses off, Jenna. That was funny.
I'm so surprised that she said she was going to return the robe. She was like, yeah, it's $1,500. I'm going to return it. I'm like, Jenna Lyons is returning something that's $1,500. Are we okay?
Yeah, also, like, you're on camera wearing it. How are you going to just go return it?
That part too. How does that work? They can see you wore it.
This was interesting. Jenna, like, Andy was like, Jenna, I saw you and your partner at a party, and she, like, basically ran away from me. And she was like, yeah, we were trying to leave. Like, you were like the seventh person on our way out. And then she said, Bezos had just gotten there and the party was taking a turn in a different direction. I was like, oh, what's that mean?
I think it was just an excuse that Cass didn't want to be there at all, which is super annoying because, and they even bring this up in the reunion. Andy's like, you don't talk about your relationship. You can't bring her on camera, but you'll go and talk about it to the press because she's probably getting coin.
Yeah.
Also, I just don't like that she can't show her relationship on camera because children, I understand. I think children are off limits and they don't need to be filmed unless like everyone consents and agrees. But no, we will never be able to see like that dynamic. She won't have a partner at like parties and things like that. Or if they ever did a couples trip, like they couldn't, like she couldn't bring her. I don't like that. And I don't know what else we get from Jenna because we don't even get to see her really working as much either.
Yeah.
So she's just kind of there.
She is kind of more of like a friend of role.
Okay, what did you think about Andy incessantly asking Jessel about her face?
This was annoying. I did not like how like much coaxing and then how much hell he gave her because she didn't like fully spill and he had to get it out of her. Also,
Mhm.
Bryn's part of it like annoyed the shit out of me. Um,
Yeah, Bryn trying to say that Jessel didn't pay for anything and then
yeah,
also trying to coax it out of her like you had more work done than you're saying.
right,
Girl, shut up.
right.
You also are walking in with a whole new face.
Yeah,
Stop.
Bryn's face is plump as shit. Like she honestly, she didn't look good. And
No.
her Botox, she couldn't move. So that when she cried, I'm sorry, she looked horrible. Like, sorry. But also, you're being an ugly person. And, when you're ugly on the inside, it shows on the outside. I used to think Bryn was so cute and like bubbly and nice. And like, yeah, she overplayed a role for sure. I think she has very low confidence, which is always so wild to me to see someone like her, who looks like her. I guess, we're only seeing her outside and what she shows to us. Have such low confidence is just wild to me. But yeah, I hated this part of Bren. Like, first of all, how about y'all let her speak? You asked her a question and then you started interrupting her. She didn't even get to fully finish what she was saying. Also, let's go around the whole couch and talk about what everyone's had done.
Including you, Andy.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's getting veneers these days. And probably everyone except for freaking Lisa Barlow, who needs it, has filler and Botox. So, like, what are we trying to get at? I don't understand. That was weird.
So, yeah, so many people online were well, a lot of people were like, Andy, good for you for asking because, like, the housewives, like, they always come in with new faces, so they should be transparent about it. But then a lot of people online were like, what the hell? Why are we still asking women what they are doing to their face? Andy's response was, the question, what work have you done, remains at the top of the list of viewer questions every season, every franchise. The housewives have unabashedly led us into their beauty regimen since day one. It's a big part of the series' DNA.
Whatever. When has he asked Kyle Richards, who comes with a new face every season, what work she's had done? So while we're on with Jessel, they bring up the part where on vacation, Bran, Sai, and Aaron were outside talking about who the people's loves of their lives were. And Bryn said, well, don't y'all remember? Jessel said, this other guy. And that was scandalous.
Yeah.
And so they bring that up and they're like, Bryn, like, why did you say that? Like, what did you mean? See, it just pops up randomly.
If you're watching this, y'all should just really watch it on video because Julia's phone is giving us all these weird ass emojis.
um, so Jessel starts like getting so upset because she's like, I had to sit there and watch that with Pavitt and explain to him that you were lying, and then he thought I was lying, and she's like, you knew exactly what was said, Bryn. We were talking about our craziest hookups, not our love of our life, and you twisted my words. That was not good.
I just feel like Bryn hasn't really been held accountable for things that she said in her past. I feel like maybe in her regular life, not on camera, she just runs her mouth about stuff in her friend group, gossips here and there, says things outlandish, but with her personality, no one really takes it seriously. They know she's just a gossip girly. They know that's just how Bryn is, whatever. I don't know. I'm just assuming. Now Bryn's on this show and there's cameras catching everything that she's saying. And there's people who none of these girls were really friends before filming. Maybe a couple here and there knew of each other, but no one was really friends. So now you're coming into this group of people, you're trying to stir up drama and talk shit, but everyone's catching what you're saying and can go back and watch it. I just have a feeling she, like I said, hasn't been held accountable for things like this before, and she doesn't know how to handle it, and the cutesy act is not working with it.
Yeah. And we see Jenna get upset, and Jenna starts crying, and she's like, she says to Jessel, like, I didn't know what Bryn said was not true. So now we have people watching, believing Bryn, believing that Jessel said that her husband isn't the love of her life, father of her children, like gross. And she, yeah, she's Jenna says, like, I can't believe, to Bryn, she says, I can't believe that you would put something like that out on national television. And Jenna says, you just need to apologize and be quiet. And then Bryn starts being Bryn, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't even know what she said. She just starts running her mouth, trying to defend herself. And Jenna's just like, no, stop. Just stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking. She tells her multiple times because Bryn's still going. And Jenna is just like, you need to stop. And we had never seen Jenna like that before. And so that, you know, that makes it like even more serious to see Jenna reacting like that. And Jenna says, like, this spin that you've put on this is so dark. And Jenna's always kind of been Team Bryn, and she's opened her eyes now and seeing the real Bryn. And I think there's no way Bryn's coming back next season.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And honestly, like, I hope Bryn makes that choice on her own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're ever really going to believe that if she does, because I also do feel like she's the type of person that would get fired and put out a statement as if she made the choice to leave. So who really knows? But
Yeah, because she's in PR, remember?
yeah, well, for her damn mental health, she needs to go check out of life, reality TV life, and check herself into some.
Yeah, I mean, she just and could have had great housewife potential.
Yeah.
She could have done really well on this show, but she's not ready.
No, also, I'm sorry, she's not a housewife.
Well, that also has gone out the window with other franchises
I
too.
understand, but most of them are like married and divorced. Like Bryn's never even been married and divorced. I don't know. I think they need to kind of get back on track, like with what we want from our housewives. Bryn's the type that should be on like Summer House, you know, or
Yeah.
Southern Charm or something. Like I don't know. She doesn't give housewife to me.
More like a socialite type
Yeah.
show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, well, the reunion was it was easier to watch than the finale.
It was. We'll see how part two goes. I will say also, like, Uba, man, she's a good human. She was getting sad for Bryn talking about, her hurt and pain, and Bryn was like, or Uba was like, I'm so sorry that happened to you, and Uba was crying, and just, even though Bryn hurt Uba so bad at the end of the season, Uba still is a real person with feelings, and that was nice to see. But yeah, it was a very like emotionally charged New York end of season and reunion.
Yeah, I think that's why I couldn't get in fully to the Salt Lake City reunion because, like, we come off the finale, we watch the reunion, and there's just so much in Salt Lake City. Like, there's so much for them to fight and so much drama. I was like, I can't, like, mentally sit and watch, like, another reunion. So maybe we talk about it on Sunday when we record.
Yeah, reunions are a lot in their own too. Like it's just um like constantly people are talking at the same time, and it's like, oh my god, there's so much going on, I can't keep up with it.
100%. All right. Well, what a fun episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all for checking out another episode of Wonderful Garbage. If it's your first time here, welcome. Follow us on social media. Follow us wherever you're listening. Comment. Let us know what you think. Until next time, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.